Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is officially Thursday, October 24th, and man, October is flying by, and I'm stoked to be sharing this fine morning and this election news with all you fine Patriots, because there is voter fraud already happening, and we're going to break it down for you with boots on the ground. We got a lot of video clips for you. We just got a lot of news in general to get through. And here's some breaking news for you. I hadn't even gone live yet before YouTube flagged my video. I'm going to say that again. Somebody, for the love of God, explain this one to me. I hadn't even barely gone live. Like, you have to go live for YouTube to trigger, like, its registration, right? I already got flagged. I wasn't even on camera. I haven't even said anything yet. Meaning that they just flagged my video because I said election fraud, probably in the thumbnail or my description. Are you kidding me? This is how we're going to start today off, huh? Already. The reason why that's a big deal is because you get limited to no ads on your video. And when you get limited to no ads on your video, when you're partnered with YouTube, there's no reason for them to promote your video because they're not making any money off of it. We don't make a killing off exactly, ScrewTube. Head over to Rumble. Screw these guys. I'll give you guys freaking the link to Rumble. You go over there because at least we get sponsors and shout outs from over there. So why don't I give you my Rumble? There's my Rumble, and I'm going to pin it. And I'm going to say throughout this episode, screw YouTube, click on that link and give us the views over at Rumble. Hell, we're not going to make any money on this over on Rumble or YouTube anyways. So screw them. Screw them. Don't give them more money. I should just stop streaming on YouTube. So let's jump a little bit into the news. Enough of me ranting and raving. You'll be hearing enough of that in a moment. Hit that like button if you could, folks. That does help tremendously. So if you're going to stay over at YouTube, hit that like button so actually more people get notified here because, again, a lot of election news here. You know I already got my coffee ready. Damn right, Pac-Man. I love it. Got mine too. So JD Vance echoes what we said yesterday. JD Vance was on a podcast with Theo Vaughn. And I think I'm going to do a short later today when I get home because you really get to see a fun side of JD where he's laughing a lot. He cusses every now and then, just like a normal guy, you know, two guys shooting the shit with one another. And that's JD Vance here. So during this interview with Theo Vaughn he talks about this idea of not trusting the polls. Less than 2 weeks out from the election day, Vice President Kamala Harris has a slight edge in national polls and a small disadvantage in battleground state polls, while many betting markets show former President Donald Trump and Vance with more than a 10-point advantage. Post Al Dave, thank you for the follow over at Rumble. I get notified every time somebody hits that follow button over at Rumble, so greatly appreciated. Vance sat down recently with an interview with Theo Vaughn, and this is what he said about the poll. I don't know if he's going to mention it, but that means you have a lot of non-response bias taking place automatically. So I don't know if he'll mention that here, but not only were you getting it in the past, now you're getting it 3 times. It's not just an accurate sample, but there's also a lot of bias that seeped into that because since it's not a designed experiment, you can't sit there and interject yourself into it. And not to mention that there's actually bias just within the questions themselves. It could be leading on the caller in terms of the questions and the desired outcome that you're looking for. So he's 100% correct. And that's why they're struggling so much still to get accurate polls. Who knows? Maybe these will be accurate this year. I doubt it, because I'll tell you what, man. I have a tough time believing Kamala is that popular. I really, really do. And I got a torn heart on this one because, like I mentioned, I say this ad nauseum. I remember in 2016, you know, Donald Trump winning, and it kind of caught me off guard because I voted for the guy, but I was going to be frank. Like, I was looking at the polls. I was like, all right, this guy's probably going to lose, but, you know, I got to vote with my conscience. I love the guy. He's great, blah, blah, blah. Wins the office of the presidency. Cool. And then in 2020, I mean, his popularity only increased, in my opinion, from what I was seeing. Again, I'm in a Democrat state, like a hardcore progressive state, California. Folks, these people here are crazy. These lefties, trust me. I'm seeing Trump caravans going down the street. I am seeing full-on Trump rallies across the nation, filling stadiums, just the outside, tens of thousands of people, the merchandise, everything. I live on the coast, so I'm not too far away from the beach, and you see these marinas pulling out thousands of boats and doing boat parades in the ocean. There's nobody fucking out there. They're doing boat parades in the ocean. I've never seen anything like it. I remember there was a caravan going by, and I was telling my mother one time, I said, Mom, I've never seen this for any president in our lifetimes, Democrat or Republican. I've never seen anything like this. I said, I think Trump's going to win. And this was 2020. I was standing out on my doorstep, dark at night, and I just seeing thousands of people just drive by. I was like, yeah, I think this guy's going to win. I go, I've never seen anything like it. How's he not? And he loses. Why? Well, I think why he lost, and they already flagged our video. If you're just joining us, I hadn't even gone on camera yet, and YouTube already flagged my video. I haven't said shit yet, and they already flagged my video. That's why I'm cussing a lot. Fuck them. Because they already flagged it. It doesn't matter. I might as well cuss as much as I want. So now I'm going to go bonkers. Now you're really going to get an unfiltered thing. So if you don't want to hear cussing, you don't want to hear that, you want the cutesy time shit, now's the time to turn off my channel. Well, in 2020, they decided to use Dominion voting, and we'll bring that up here in a moment, because the foolery started during that time. They allowed illegal aliens to vote. They allowed people to vote from properties that didn't exist. People admitted, we showed the study, people admitted 17% to 21% admitted to committing voter fraud. They admitted that they used somebody's ballot and filled in information of who they're voting for. You saw that right now. You're seeing that. There's video of it. People are forcing their grandmothers to vote for Kamala Harris because that grandmother don't know what the F's going on because she's old. They're taking advantage of her. They're sitting there harvesting ballots, which we saw from a CNN broadcast that actually accidentally caught that. They're allowing they're not going to take the non-citizens out the voter registration rolls, and they're filing lawsuits. So you have here non-citizen illegal alien voting could deliver key swing states to Harris, study finds. Oh, really? Oh, gee. A significant number of illegal aliens and other non-citizens, well, they just manage to vote. Yeah, they just manage it. Remember, every media outlet, these fucking idiots, come out and go, well, it's illegal to vote. They can't do it. It's already illegal. Yeah, no shit, it's illegal. God, these people are so... I'm amped up today because I'm pissed because I got flagged before I even said anything. Might as well say whatever the F I want then. Of course they're freaking... It's illegal, you idiot. We all know that. We're not stupid. Clearly she is. It was already illegal for them to come through the border illegally, you idiot. So if they're willing to break the laws then, do you think they're really going to give two Fs to break the law when it comes to voting or when it comes to whatever laws are already on the books? But this is the problem. These people get paid millions of dollars to not have any sort of thinking behind them. Yeah, I'm ramped up today. Like I said, today's not cutesy times, folks. If it's not for you, now's the time to leave. Really, I'm being serious. Being serious. If you don't want to see a lot of cussing, a lot of ramped up frustration, I didn't start the morning off good, nor did I sleep well. Pissed. Shout out to Dizzy. Thank you, brother, for $10. It makes me feel a little bit better. Thank you, dude. Thank you. He said F censorship, YouTube, vote Trump 2024, and tune into alternative independent media. God bless America. Damn right, sir. Thank you, sir. Dizzy with the $10. Also a supporter, a longtime supporter. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Rant Brad K. Yeah. The report from the Center of Immigration Studies found that the number of voting age citizens in key swing states outnumbers the margins, check this out, of the victory in 2020 election. Meaning it's worse. And obviously it's worse, right? Because you had 10.5 minimum illegal immigrants come through the border just under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's tenure, indicating that non-citizens could be materially change the outcome of the November 5th election. Materiality is generally used for auditing or some sort of scientific kind of study. Materiality means that there's it has a drastic, significant impact. We'll call it that. Significant impact on the outcome, meaning it's beyond the air. What that also means is that idea of us making it too big to rig is kind of being thrown out here for the swing states. I'm going to say that again because that's a big problem. We as Republicans or independents, because we got a lot of independents that watch the show, we're trying to get and mobilize so many people out to vote for Trump that maybe weren't voting before, or kind of just like couch potatoes. Like I'm not going to get up to vote for this guy. I want him to win, but I'm not going to go to the polls or vote early or whatever. Well, we're trying to get everybody to vote for him so that it's too big to rig. But here's the problem. In swing states, they're saying, it's just not going to work out. It's too It's too hard to rig it now, or it's too easy to rig it because the materiality change. That's a problem. The Census Bureau data collected earlier this year indicated there were 23.2 million voting age non-citizens in the country, you guys. 23.2 million. Roughly half of whom are illegal immigrants. Oh, shit. Well, we know where they are. Yeah, we know that they're here, but they'll stay here. Lovely. Our analysis does show that in a dozen states, plus Nebraska's 2nd district, the non-citizen population in 2024 is potentially large enough to exceed the state's winner's margin in 2020. Mathematically, there are 12 states plus Nebraska's 2nd, again, congressional district where the voting age non-citizen population is larger in 2024 than the state's winner's margin of victory. A big problem. That's a huge problem. So not only were we already fighting against legacy media, not only were we already fighting against the entire establishment, not only were we fighting against the deep state, not only were we fighting against the entertainment industry and the lies and all the foo-hoo that goes on, but now we're actually fighting against our own government that's allowing this stuff to happen and is getting so fucking ballsy with it that they're actually posting, yeah, we know there's 23.5 million people here that are going to vote illegally. Like, what? Yeah, we know there's people that are on the rolls that are illegally going to vote, but, there's nothing we can do about it. Sorry. Oh, by the way, here's a lawsuit. Isn't this shit crazy? Isn't this crazy? Wait till we get, we're not done. This is all about election for the most part. All about election. I got video clips. I got it all. Now we got Maricopa County. For some reason, if you live in Maricopa County, they can't get their ass together. They can't get their shit straight. So you thought Pennsylvania was bad by getting their numbers in 4 days after the election, where there's supposedly, allegedly millions of people, I guess, voting. 25% of the population of Pennsylvania is overseas. That's why it's going to take so long. Yeah, they'll only have 75% of the numbers in during election night, allegedly. But that 25%, yeah, that's from overseas. Who knew that? A quarter of a state was just living somewhere else? Weird. Officials in Arizona's Maricopa County say counting ballots could take up to 13 days, almost 2 weeks. The longer you go with this whole ballot stuff, the more opportunities arise where you can interject different variables, different situations, and people doing some shady shit. And here we are in 2024 with technology that you wouldn't believe 30 years ago, and we still can't get it done. We're actually doing a worse job now than we were in the past. How is that possible? How the F are we counting ballots slower 20 years later? Thank you, Troubleshooter, for $10. He says, quote, "In the Air Tonight song, watch them implode. Dems' desperation can rub off if you let it. MAGA is winning." Thank you, sir. Greatly appreciated. And damn, sir, I hope you are right. I hope you're right that MAGA is winning. We better win. We just can't do this. I got to take a sip of my coffee because I got to wet my whistle. My throat's a little dry. So Maricopa County, election officials ask voters to be patient. Oh, we got to be patient with them. Saying on Tuesday that it could take nearly 2 weeks to complete the tabulation. Holy shit. God, they must be counting like 30 million votes, right? Oh wait, only it's in a couple million. Okay. As the week, around 400,000 voters in Maricopa County have voted early of the estimated 2.1 million people in the county estimated to cast a ballot. So why don't you start counting now so that we're not sitting here 2 weeks later on your damn county? Didn't they give us issues before? Didn't they give us issues in 2020, if I recall? Because Maricopa County comes up a lot in the election news. The county's election officials said that the length of this year's ballot, combined with what's expected to be a large turnout, will slow down the count. So if you know it's going to happen, this is fucking remarkable. If you know it's going to happen, then why don't you get more people in to sit there and count the ballots? If you know it's going to happen. Look, it's like, I swear, it's like Kamala Harris and Joe Biden when they see on the news, right, there's a massive Category 5 fucking hurricane just hurling itself at the United States, specifically Florida and North Carolina, South Carolina, and those states. Like just hurling, right? For days, we know, yeah, it's gaining its F1 right now. Oh shit, in 2 days, it's going to be F3. Yeah, by like 5 days a week, it's going to hit landfall at a Cat 5. You never seen shit like it. You would think that a FEMA, the truck's in like a nearby state ready to go. You know what I mean? Revving the engines, right? Ready to go to bring in the fuel, the food, bring in fucking huge planes and just dropping supplies to everybody ready to go, right? Oh shit, it's worse, that's bad. We'll get there when we get there. It boggles the mind that when you know something's going to happen and then you just sit there and watch it unfold and go, well, we're not prepared. Like, what? Jesus, man. Am I making sense, Patriots? Let me know in chat. I'm trying to read along with you, folks. I'm hanging out here with you. Hit the like button if you're enjoying what you're seeing. But damn, morons have, thank you. Okay, Lulu's with us here. Morons have no common sense, and we got a bunch of morons running the show here. I'm sorry if you're one of the morons and you're a patriot here. Maybe you could tell the people that you're working with to get their ish together, because it's freaking annoying. The country's election officials said the length of this year's ballot, I just love. I love this. We expected to take between 10 and 13 days. Oh, lovely. Okay. All right. Well, here's some breaking news. Speaking of Arizona and Maricopa County, get this one for you. Check this, kind of long, but George says here a lawsuit has been filed against Maricopa County to force them to document everything that happens with ballots on, before, and after election night, and also to close a secret fraud loophole that allows election workers to change votes. Oh, hold on to that one, because we'll be getting to that in just one moment here. It's an uncontested fact that Maricopa County did not maintain proper chain of custody in 2020 and 2022. Gee, didn't I say, aren't they the ones that are always popping up here during every election season? Yes, sir. Also violated the federal election records retention law. Oh, a lot of fuckery going on here. They even deleted certain data from the voting machines before handing them to the state auditors. Oh, why would they do that? What? Why would they delete records, handing it to the auditors that sit there and run sample testing on the records that were deleted? Sounds a lot like the shit Hillary Clinton did when she deleted all her emails when she had a server in her bathroom. It's just remarkable how that works out. Y'all remember that? When she used BleachBit on the server that was in her bathroom, and she goes, I didn't know I couldn't have classified documents in my bathroom on a private server. Now, she doesn't talk like that, right? She's way more annoying. But for some reason, I felt and just randomly did a Southern accent. So, I don't know where the hell that came from, to be quite honest, but it's morning. So, this keeps coming up, right? And this is the type of crap. And one thing I was thinking about when I was show prepping last night, do you guys notice it's only Republicans talking about this stuff, and conservatives and independents? Hand to God, I am not seeing, and if I'm wrong, email me, thebaldbradshow@gmail.com. Send me the links of just the Democrats talking about election fraud, because I'm missing it. I'm looking for it. Trust me. I'm looking for Democrats going, hey, this is what they're doing. This is the crap that's going on. We should all be worried about this. The lawsuit revealed that in 2022, Maricopa County conducted a practice where they took votes that had already been counted and retabulated them at their pleasure. Oh, lovely. Quote, because of this unlawful practice, it is entirely possible for Maricopa County employees to change the outcomes of the election by sweeping out ballots to include votes for their preferred candidate and propositions. Lovely. Folks, we're going to stay on this for you, by the way. Oh, I made a promise. Yeah, yes, sir. Even if Trump wins, I'm going to tell you all the effery that took place. Yes. Oh, yeah. Man, we got a lot of news to cover today, folks. Jeez, Willies, we got a lot of stuff here. So as Maricopa County. Now, you might think like, well, the news, though, Brad's telling me that illegals can't vote. You're talking about this election fraud, but you're telling me one thing, but the legacy media's telling me another. Yeah, well, here's some more proof, because we got to show these people the receipts, right? And as we should. You will be held accountable. What happened here in Ohio, Patriots? This comes from the Daily Wire. Most of our articles do. That, Fox News, and some other independent sources. Oh, wait. Oh, well, Ohio charges 6 non-citizens with illegally voting. But hold on. No. I was told by the legacy media, we watched it last week, this shit wasn't happening. It's illegal to vote. They can't do it. It's illegal, Senator. Senator, it's illegal. I'm sorry, I have to interrupt here. It's illegal. Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost. If you're wondering why I'm laughing at myself. I laugh mostly at myself. Announced charges on Tuesday against 6 individuals for allegedly voting as non-citizens in previous elections. I'm not laughing at the illegals voting. I'm laughing at me making fun of that lady. I can't remember her name, and I wish I had the clip on cue. Maybe we should just have that on cue. Very similar to when we had people chanting 4 more years for Joe Biden, where we would just run that all the time. Look at this. The indictment came after Ohio removed 500 non-citizens. Good. From its voter rolls in August after an audit of its voter registration database. It's amazing when you perform an audit that things actually come about. You know what I mean? You actually find out the effery that's going on here. Other states like Georgia and Texas removed thousands of non-citizens from their rolls. So if they didn't have done that, guess what would have been voting? Guess who would have been voting? Because again, the legacy media, these idiots that get paid millions of dollars, can't wrap their head around this. We all can. They would be voting. Yes, they would be voting. And it's funny because you get Democrats coming out here going, well, how would they get a ballot? Well, let me explain to you, you idiot. You walk up, you get an ID like you do in the state of California, and there's no proof of identification when you're filling out a registration form, and you turn it in. That's how. And how do we know that? Because we looked at it on the channel. We looked at California. We looked at Arizona. And we looked at Texas. None of them require you to show proof of citizenship. Mind you, Democrats are going so far, like the state of California, where they're trying, or are, I can't remember if it is or is not, illegal now to show, or I should say, ask for proof of citizenship. There is either something on the laws now that just recently passed, or it was vetoed or some shit that Gavin Newsom did, to where it is potentially legal to ask for ID. I don't know if that went through or not. Maybe somebody could correct me in the chat. So the right to vote is sacred. It is not, if you are not a U.S. citizen, it's illegal to vote whether you thought you were allowed to or not. Who the hell would think they're allowed to? Come on, we know what they're doing. We know what they're doing. What I would love to do, now this goes against a lot, folks, here because of, I like to think of right to privacy. Now you get some loose ends on that one with right to privacy. Does it exist? Is it actually a real thing? Was it fabricated in the Constitution? All those things. I would love to see these people that are illegals that are voting. I would love to see a transaction if some large amount of money is going in their bank account. Because remember, Act Blue, which is the Democrat Party's #1 donation system, whereas the Republicans is Win Red. So if you go to Win Red, you can sit there and donate money to the Trump campaign and the Republicans. Remember, Act Blue is taking people that say maybe donated $10 and continuing to use their information, and they're funneling money from these millionaires and billionaires into those average citizens that only put in $20. And so now these average citizens are throwing in $200,000 all of a sudden. Here's $120,000. Here's another $10,000. Here's another $50,000. And then James O'Keefe knocks on their door and says, hey, we got your name here. Is this you? Are you Janet Yellen? Yes, I'm Janet Yellen. Ma'am, you look like you're 95. I'm 98. And she goes, what you holding there? Well, Janet, 98, you're retired, right? Been retired for 45 years. Have no money in the bank. Hey, did you donate $300,000 to Kamala while she's wearing a fucking MAGA hat and a Kamala Harris shirt, Well, back in 2020, I didn't know what I was doing, so I voted for who's president. And these people didn't vote for anybody. You know what I mean? And then they also sat there and only donated $20, but now somehow it says $300,000. So the foozery happens. So illegals are voting. They have even their names down, but remember, it doesn't happen. We're told, remember, it doesn't happen. Mind you, we talked about a story just like 3 weeks ago about another person that's being like thrown in jail for voting illegally. What they did was they stole somebody else's identity and they were voting on their behalf. But remember, none of this happens, you guys. This is all BS. Yeah, it's all smoke and mirrors. We're making it up, is what we're being told by Karine Jean-Pierre, Jen Psaki on MSNBC, and the rest of the Democrats. So, is what it is. We also have Montana. Hey, Brad, there's more election fraud going on? Yes, sir! So hit that like button, folks, for me. Please help get the word out that this is taking place, because we're not done yet. Oh, we're not done. We got Montana. Montana Democrat operative caught tampering with what? What? The ballot box? Yes, sir. It's amazing. It is amazing. And we said it was going to happen, did we not? Video obtained by Fox News shows a Democrat operative tampering with an election ballot box in Montana, appearing to try tearing the box off the wall. You fucking shit, this is all Trump voters, get rid of it, fuck! Right? Just freaking out because they're spastic. The operative has been paid by who? Oh, dude, this gets better. I haven't read this. Shit, no way. Oh, I'm sweating. The operative has been paid by the Democratic Senator Campaign Committee. The fucking Democrats paid the guy. Oh, God. Nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. If anything, these people are all going to get promoted. They're going to be part of the Harris campaign. Wow. The DSCC is attempting to help incumbent Democrat Senator Jon Tester against GOP senatorial candidate Tim Sheehy. Wow. The communications director for Secretary of State told Montana Talks the county election administrator contacted our office expressing serious concern over surveillance footage that appeared to show an individual tampering with a ballot box. So if they're doing this now, what's stopping them from continuing to do this through November 5th? Remember, Maricopa County, 13 days to count the ballots, really 2 fucking weeks. Pennsylvania are already coming out going, well, it's going to take us 4 days. You're telling me that we can go a week? I'm not streaming for a week, okay? I'm not streaming 168 hours straight to figure out who won the damn election. I hope it's a sweep, man. Trump, sir, I hope you win. So this kind of plays into why I mentioned, do you notice that none of the Democrats care about this? Do you notice that? Like, they're not talking about election fraud. I guarantee you, if they get their asses kicked in this election, which they've already preemptively said through Kamala Harris just yesterday during an interview that she botched, we have lawyers ready to go to contest the integrity of the election. Amazing. So this shit's taking place. Obviously highly suspicious and concerning. Yeah, the guy's trying to rip off the ballot box. So fucking, we gotta get rid of this thing. Remember how they're hiring a bunch of Democrats to sit there and survey all the elections at a crazy amount of numbers compared to Republicans? It was like 5-1 or some crazy number like that. Frustrating. You may be thinking, oh, cool, Brad. Okay, that's enough election news, right? That's enough evidence for Democrats to sit there and see that it's happening. No, sir, we're not done. Oh, no. So far, over 1,200 mail-in ballots have been rejected in Philadelphia because they are either misdated or undated, lacking a signature, or a missing inner secrecy envelope. Oh, gotcha. What's the date? Oh, it's till 24th. Rick, thank you so much for following us over at Rumble. Greatly appreciated, sir. As you see, this is untethered. This is what you get here on the Bald Brad Show. We're not beholden by a corporation. We're not beholden by the Republican Party, the Democrat Party. I'm a registered Republican, fiscal conservative. This is what you get, baby. And I love that you guys are joining us. You know, we're not sitting there watching what we say. Sometimes we do the cussing, right? I always slip up every episode. But this is crazy. This, by the way, this should not happen. Yeah, they should be rejected. I actually agree with this. They should be rejected. So Democrats despise the news because of all they want to do is cheat. They filed countless lawsuits to get judges to force officials to what? Count defective ballots. Defective ballots are going to count, but the courts refused. Democrats, Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, we want fair and free elections. We want everything to be right. We want election integrity. And then they pull shit like this. Simple requirements such as writing the correct date. No joke, you guys. What they're this is a side tangent. Struggling filling out a ballot does not shock me anymore. And I'll tell you why. This is not an exaggeration. It's not a spoof. I just want to be clear. Because what I'm about to tell you, you're going to be like, there's no fucking way. What elementary schools teachers are experiencing right now is kids actually don't know how to write the date. And they don't know how to write nor spell their names anymore. Okay? These people grow up in 10 years to start voting. They don't know anything. They can't put the correct date. Signing the ballot. Okay? All these things they can't do. If you can't do basic procedures, you probably shouldn't be voting, even if you're voting for Trump. There's deeper issues going on if you don't know how to fill out a ballot yourself. So, unverified mail-in ballot voters don't dilute legal votes. So that's going on. And it will continue to go on, by the way. You also have this taking place, Moms of RFK Jr. I want to make sure I highlight this. I just opened my mail-in ballot and something's seriously off. Both the secrecy and return envelopes came already sealed. Check this out.
So I live in the state of Pennsylvania, and I got my mail-in ballot a couple of days ago. And I have to show this to you because I'm concerned. So this is the way it works. With the mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania, you complete the ballot. Here we go. Two-sided ballot. Upside down, sorry. But you get the point. You fill out your ballot. And then you're supposed to put the ballot in this yellow secrecy envelope, this official election ballot envelope. And then you put the yellow envelope inside the exterior envelope that gets sent back to your county board of elections. Okay, but here's the problem. My yellow secrecy envelope arrived. I took it out of the envelope that I received it in, and it's already sealed. Look at this. It's already sealed. And not only that, but my external mailing envelope is also already sealed. Look at this. This is how it came. Already sealed.
Can you imagine the Democrats paying that guy, dude? He's just licking a bunch of envelopes. I can't taste anymore. He's like crying, right? Like, I have so many paper cuts. I need the money. The economy's so bad. I'm sorry. That poor soul. He's just selling himself out to the Democrats, just licking envelopes, right? When they can just give him that paster thing. You know what I'm talking about? Just that tube that you can sit there and run on rather than licking them, but they're making... We also have this. We have fun here, too. Yeah, it's serious. Don't get me wrong. It's serious. But we also... we have a good time. Or is it just me having a good time with myself in here? You know what I mean? Just cracking myself up. So you would also have another Pennsylvania County Board of Election admits they are at least 2,500 voter registrations backlogged. Why? Why?
My speech will not be compelled or infringed in any way. So the last time I was at this meeting, the chairperson sought to silence, compel, or tell people what they can or cannot say. So I'm going to say what I want to say during the speech. Disenfranchise, disenfranchise, disenfranchise. That doesn't really get counted until election day. It happens in the weeks leading up to the election. It happens when you run out of ballot paper on election day, like in 2022. It happens when polling stations have locked doors and people can't go inside like it happened in 2022. It happens when polling staff aren't properly trained to help voters when they're trying to figure out how to use the machines correctly, like what happened in 2022. Now, I've seen this board ask, whether or not, do we know how many mail-in ballot processing applications we are behind? Anybody?
We do not have that.
Do we know how many voter registration forms we are from behind?
Yes, that number is 2,500 currently.
2,500 with 2 weeks
That
left
is
until the
online
election.
only.
Online only. Oh my God. That's what happened. Yeah, nobody brought that up.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Paper.
That is voter disenfranchisement. You are responsible. The buck stops with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for getting that information out to everybody. Because the foozery has been going on for far too long, and it's going to continue because, quite frankly, Republicans didn't want to do anything about it either. And as a registered Republican, it frustrates the hell out of me. You also, speaking of Pennsylvania, why, Brad, are you talking about Maricopa County, Pennsylvania, Michigan so much? Swing states. That's why. Yes, swing states. Because this is where the foozery happened in 2020. So now my focus, as Karine Jean-Pierre on that White House podium loves to say, laser focused. That's where it's at right now. So Pennsylvania just admitted that they incorrectly, just oopsie, sent duplicate mail-in ballots to almost 300 voters due to a software issue. God, it sounds a hell of a lot like 2020, you guys. A hell of a lot like 2020.
Hundreds of Erie County voters were sent the wrong ballot. So what's being done to fix the problem?
Officials from the Erie County Board of Elections say that nearly 300 Erie County voters have been sent multiple mail-in ballots, and now the board is working to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
To have a problem in Pennsylvania is bad. To have a problem in Pennsylvania's swingiest swing county is absolutely horrible.
But that's exactly what happened. Erie County election officials say on Friday they learned 296 people got 2 ballots in the mail, a correct ballot and a ballot for another voting district.
We know who those individuals are. We're working diligently to notify them and to ask them to return their ballot if they vote. If they receive 2 ballots and they voted correctly with their proper name, everything lines up, they're fine.
Horton says election IQ's
I just see these Democrats just skipping down the street that got duplicate ballots. I've got the golden ticket. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. I got the golden ticket. Voting for Kamala Harris twice. I'm going to sell my ballot for multiple $1,000 to the highest bidder. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
addressing system temporarily failed, which caused wrong ballots to be sent to wrong addresses.
Hundreds of Erie County voters.
Shit's fucking crazy, dude. This is all crazy. Yeah, it was just a software issue, right? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that sounds like vetting. Yeah, software issue. Sounds a lot like what we were all complaining about with the software issues from 2020 that nobody wanted to look down. It's amazing how all of a sudden they know, yeah, we know the 296 names that got multiple ballots. Can we, again, what's the question we always ask is, who did you vote for? That's the one question I want to know first. And then second, who did these people vote for in the past? That's what I want to know. Of these 296, did they vote for Democrat or Republican? And if so, what's the spread on that? How many voted Democrat? That's what I want to know versus Republican. Maybe they're all Republican. Still shouldn't allow it. Should have never happened. But it's funny, right? In the swing states, it's terrible how this just happened. It's just a mistake. Yeah. You got caught is what happened. And now that you got caught, you got to sit there, oh, fuck, it's a software issue? Yeah. It's always a software issue, right? No matter, with these tech companies, it's always a software issue. Yeah, there's no guy behind the button, right? There's no freaking wizard behind the curtain like we see with Wizard of Oz that's pulling the maneuvers. No. It's always a software issue. Yeah, sorry, it was an update. They'll be fine with it. Yeah, they won't ask any questions. Maybe, Brad, okay, that's cool, man. Yeah, you're probably done, right? Shit, you've been going on 43 minutes with election fraud. You know what, guys? I could go on. I feel very confident about this number. I could probably do a 10-hour long episode on election fraud. Hand to God. It's that rampant, really. It's that insane. Brad, are you okay? You hide it well. No, I'm not good. Please, guys. All right, this is an intervention episode. Boys and girls, I'm having a tough time. No, I'm actually doing really great, even though I slept really bad last night. What I don't tell you guys is my normal day job, right? I do this as a hobby for those that are new viewers. That's why I would say we're not beholden by a corporation. It's just my hobby. I just do this for fun. And lucky enough to get to hang out with you fine patriots. It's a blessing to be able to do this, really. This is what I've always wanted. Hey, shout out to Franco in the chat. Franco is our editor, folks. And that, you know, we're getting people behind us here. What a time to join the stream. Hell yeah, Franco. You're gonna have fun today. Franco cuts up our podcast and uploads it throughout the day and makes all our shorts. So shout out to Franco over YouTube. Greatly appreciate you, sir. I take my job very seriously, like my day job. And because I want to do a really good job, and when I feel like I underperform sometimes or I encounter some sort of situation, it just gets locked in my mind and I want to solve it, and I just don't sleep well. So funny enough, politics allows me to get away from those types of things, which is why I enjoy it so much. But I appreciate you guys nonetheless. But I did not sleep well last night. Woo! Which is funny how I have so much energy. Some of you are asking what's in the coffee. Well, you know what coffee we drink here. 1775 Rumble coffee, baby. The best. The best. And surprisingly, this is my first cup. I'm not even through it yet. I'll have another one after. All right, we're not done yet. We got Georgia. Guys, this election shit is serious. Okay, let's get serious. The Georgia Supreme Court has decided not to reinstate the state election board's election integrity rules before the 2020 election. The rules included hand counts to ensure machines counted accurately and authorizing counties to withhold certification if fraud exists. God, it sounds like a really good check. Sounds really good. No, sir, not to the Democrats. They love that fraudulent shit. What do you mean? Look at all the crime that's happening in Democrat-ran areas, folks. Look at the millions of people that invaded our country illegally. Look at all the foolery that's happening. The SEB should have implemented these rules way ahead of time. Since we don't have any election integrity rules in place, we have to rely on the patriots in Georgia. Damn right. To keep their eyes and ears open. Bring all your friends to vote with you because we have to overwhelm the cheat. But remember, what we just got done looking at was it might be difficult to have it to be too big to rig because they're allowing illegal immigrants that we just showed to stay on the voter registration rolls and vote in numbers that exceed the materiality, the significant overage of what took place in 2020. So not only do we have to sit there and exceed the bullshit that took place 4 years ago, but now we got to exceed it even more. Kemp and Ratzenberger have utterly destroyed the sanctity of Georgia's elections. It'd be one thing if Democrats controlled the state, but Republicans totally control it. So here's the receipts because, you know, Democrats go, I need to see it for myself. Why don't you just punch the shit in yourself, dude? Not you, patriots. I'm talking about Democrats and liberals here. Because they can't do this stuff on their own. They can't. There's no proof of election. I don't believe anything you tell me. You wouldn't believe if somebody slapped you across the face. You wouldn't even believe that took place. People. That's why I don't bother debating people. Just so you guys know, we get invited to do some debates. Like we've been asked, or hey, do you want to do this or that? I say no because I look at the individual. I go, they're not about coming to truth. They're not about having a conversation. They're just about winning the argument. That's a waste of my damn time, and quite frankly, all my viewers too. Now let's get into some smear campaigns. I think that's a little enough for election. I could do another hour, but we got to move on here because there's other news that I need you to know about before you run into your other podcast later in the day. Well, you all saw the smear campaign. This is some disgusting stuff, man. This is really disgusting stuff they did to Trump. You all, I'm sure, heard about this yesterday, where The Atlantic accuses Trump of disparaging slain soldier. They've done this before and just outright lying. And the family responded. People have been coming out big time. Even like Secret Service members, you guys. It's not just this lady's family. There's a lot of people coming out saying this hit job, this hit piece is a bunch of bullshit. Like, not just saying it's bullshit in the say of like it's wrong to do this type of thing. No, it's fake. It's fake news. With just 2 weeks until the election, left-leaning magazine The Atlantic published an article on Tuesday accusing former President Donald Trump of disparaging a slain U.S. Army private in 2020. If this happened, then why didn't we hear about it then? Why am I only hearing about it 2 weeks before an election day? That should perk your bullshit meters really quick. Why am I just hearing this now? The Atlantic story, which was written by editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg, claims that Trump became angry when he learned how much the funeral bill was for soldier Vanessa Julian. The deceased 20-year-old, a daughter of Mexican immigrants, was murdered by a fellow soldier at Fort Hood in April 2020. After her death, Trump spoke to the family at the White House and offered to cover the cost of the funeral. Well, what Goldberg says and cites as attendees and contemporaneous notes of the meeting taken by a participant report that Trump fumed when he learned how much the family billed the White House. It doesn't cost $60,000 to bury a bleeping Mexican. That doesn't even sound like Trump, by the way. Like, that doesn't even sound like him. Natalie, the Julian family's attorney, so now you get the family's attorney in the mix here, says, and responded to the Atlantic story on X, accusing Goldberg of what? Lying and exploiting her clients for cheap political gain. The family lawyer's like, yeah, hey, this is bullshit. This didn't even happen. After having dealt with hundreds of reporters in my legal career, this is unfortunately the first time I've had to go on record and call out Jeffrey Goldberg, Atlantic. Not only did he misrepresent our conversation, but he outright lied, in all caps, lied in his sensational story. More importantly, he used and exploited my clients and Vanessa Julian's murder for cheap political gain. Correct. He did because he's sick. He's sick. I would also like to point out that the timing of this story, oh, here we go, baby. This is going to be what I said, is quite suspicious. Yes, sir. Yes, it is. I'm liking this lawyer. I'm really liking this lawyer. It's refreshing when not only do I get to read the chat, because you all have common sense in the chat, the patriots that watch the show, the followers, you know, the people that believe in this country, our Constitution, the republic that we have here. The common sense is good. As this supposed conversation that Trump would have occurred 4 years ago, why the story about it now? She added. As everyone knows, not only did Trump support our military, he also invited my clients to the Oval Office and supported them and the I Am Jessica Julian bill too. So they fabricated this. Now you might think, okay, the lawyer came out, you're getting Secret Service members out, all these people are coming out saying it's a BS story. Well, Democrats are still going to run with it. No, the legacy media are going to still run with this story, this hit piece. Well, the sister comes out. Oh, yes, sir. And what does she say? The Atlantic piece and defended Trump's writing. She defended what Trump, she said, wow, I don't appreciate how you are exploiting my sister's death for politics, hurtful and disrespectful to the important changes she made for service members. President Donald Trump did nothing but support and show respect to my family and Vanessa. In fact, I voted for President Trump today. Does that sound like somebody would vote for the individual that said that about their loved one? Does that make sense to anybody? Because if Trump said that about my father, right? Because my father's no longer here. If he said that about my father, I would say, F you, dude. I'm not voting for you. I just wouldn't vote at the top of the ticket. So let's see what the media has to say.
Battleground sprint is underway. 2 weeks from Election Day as the final battleground sprint is underway. Every hour matters for these candidates as they try to reach as many voters as possible in the key states that will decide this election. For Donald Trump, that meant speaking at a roundtable in Florida at his golf club, courting the Latino vote. After that campaign stop, a new report that Trump, while president, used the F word to describe a murdered Mexican-American soldier. That story is that Trump scoffed at the price of a funeral he offered to pay for Private Vanessa Guillen, something Trump's team tonight denies.
That's the same stuff. Remember how they sat there and ran that whole story that he didn't want to go to the cemetery to visit the veterans, but yet they wouldn't let the guy get there? The way that traveling was going to work out is you couldn't get there through motorcade. This was also echoed by Dan Bongino, who was a Secret Service member. And they couldn't sit there and fly the guy there, even though he asked. He said, well, just fly me with a chopper and I'll get there. They said, sir, we can't because it's too foggy. Like, we don't want to kill you. You're the president of the United States. So they sit there and put that hit piece. And then Joe Biden echoes it, right? And then you have all this stuff taking place. They're a bunch of liars, it's disgusting. I told my wife, that's like one of the scariest things for me, is that if I ever became like a notable person of a content creator on the conservative of the aisle with the AI and stuff that's generating, is I would just be fearful that somebody would fabricate some lies about me and there's nothing I could do to defend myself. Do you know what I mean? With the technology that's advancing so quickly, that if we did become kind of big here, that that would be my fear, right? Because there's nothing but my image now. There's my voice, all those things. It's just scary to me. They did that to a principal at a school. One of the employees, one of the teachers at a school, I don't know if you guys heard this story, actually made a AI of the principal. I forgot what the AI was of. It was of the principal, but it had him doing or saying something wrong, and he actually got let go, and he filed a lawsuit because it was fake. It wasn't real, and it turned out it was AI. So we're getting that realm where people are just going to start fabricating stuff about other individuals. Now, Megyn Kelly and Clay Travis and others blast Kamala after Trump hit piece presser. So Megyn Kelly, Clay Travis, and others reacted on Wednesday to Vice President Kamala Harris's surprise press conference to talk about the hit piece on former President Donald Trump. No, they pounced on this, you guys. The Democrats pounced on this because it just must be real, because Goldberg said so. The White House notified members of the press that Harris would be speaking from the White House president's residence at the Naval Observatory. During the 15-minute speech, the VP compared Trump to Hitler and attacked the former president for a since-rebuked story about a slain U.S. soldier. So just multiple lies, and that's all she does is lie. She's disgusting. Oh, Trump's Hitler. Remember how, like, now he's had 3 assassination attempts on his life, and they're like, we need to turn down the rhetoric. The dude got shot in the head. Oh, we need to turn down the rhetoric. Look into the fucking mirror, Democrats, you liberals, progressive lefties. If you're saying shit about Trump and calling him Hitler, 1, look in the mirror, and 2, go fuck yourself. Because he's not Hitler. He's nothing like Hitler. He was already president for 4 years and led us to prosperity and a lot more freedom around the world. Hitler didn't do those things. You'd have a stronger case to talk about the Democrat Party being more in line with Hitler and his whole Nazi party than the Republicans. And by the way, we have transcripts of Hitler looking at what the Democrat Party did to black people. And even Hitler himself in those transcripts said, no way in hell, I'm not doing that. That shit's too crazy. And if you're confused what I'm talking about, Hitler was looking into all the travesties that he was about to do upon all the Jews. And he was looking at what was called the 1 drop. Like those, like the 1 drop law or whatever, where if you had 1 drop or 1 little speck of black blood in you, that you'd be deemed black, right? And even he was like, that's too far. I ain't doing that shit. So Democrats, if you read up on their whole history, there's a lot more closer relation to what the Nazi party was doing than the Republicans. But that's what they love to do. Just call Trump a Hitler. He's a Hitler. A bunch of idiots. Their closing message is all about Trump and Hitler. The host of the Megyn Kelly Show podcast wrote on X, can you imagine how alarming their internal polls are? Oh, they're going crazy. This is what happens when you go crazy. You start just saying a bunch of nonsense. You just start going out there and smearing your political opponent. She's basically turned into like old school Trump, where she's just like trying to sit there and grab at anything and everything she can. Thank you. Is it Sheila? It's Sheila Upton. Thank you so much for the follow over at Rumble. Sorry, it's really small on my watch. We also have their closing message, which is quoted by Megyn Kelly. Cohen compared Harris's move to the classic DC swamp playbook. Plant a fake story with a captured journalist media outlet, then cite the fake story in a political attack, similar to the fabricated... oh, he said it for me. Damn it. The Steele dossier story. Damn, he took my thunder. As I was reading, I was like, dude, this is the Steele dossier, Hillary Clinton, the DNC, freaking fake story that they completely fabricated. Remember how the FBI like paid an informant to say a bunch of shit? That whole thing, the whole Russia hoax, started with one guy saying one thing. Yeah. The whole Russia hoax, one dude. They sat there and ran this whole scheme, this whole operation, PSYOP, deep state, investigation that cost us millions of dollars with the Mueller report, fucking from one guy that got money from the FBI. Fucking completely fake. It's a witch hunt. It's a hoax. which it was. And here we are again with the same shit. The House, the Jesse Kelly show, the House, the host, the campaign, Harris campaign, has $1 billion, an army of consultants, months of work on a plan. And the October surprise was the same Trump as Hitler. So that was their October surprise, you guys, coming out with that hit piece. That was supposed to be it. That was supposed to be the bombshell for them. Except we're used to it. We're used to you calling all of us names. You just sit there and direct it towards Trump, but we all know they're talking about all of us, right? We're not Hitler. We're not racists. We're not bigots. We're not xenophobes. We're not sexist. We're not any of those things. We're just a bunch of citizens who love this country, and we love the way that it was created. Not saying it doesn't have its flaws. It needs to continually be fixed. We're always trying to reach for those ideals that was enshrined in our Declaration of Independence and our Constitution. We're always striving to be those things. In the same way, just as a lot of us are people of faith, we're striving to be perfect like Jesus Christ. Christ is King. We're trying to move towards that idea, move towards that vision. We're not perfect, but damn, this is the greatest country that God's ever created. There's nothing like it. And if we don't sit there and rise up and actually keep it great, we're going to be screwed here. The Democrats are doing everything they can to destroy this country. And I think there's a lot more behind the scenes that we're not seeing here in terms of the deep state mobilizing to do those things. There's people right now in the Pentagon, the DOD, that's leaking documents from our own military to our adversaries. There's a lot of things going on with these illegal immigrants becoming citizens and then being allowed to be in our military installations with highest levels of security clearance. That's a big problem. Big problem. I didn't get to the rest of the news, folks, but there's, let's get this. I just want to get this one out here because it's a jab at Joe Biden. I don't like Joe. Another shout out here. We got a comment over at Rumble. I appreciate that. Thank you. Leave us the comments, baby. Biden staffer tells journalists no one is listening to the sitting president. Why did I want to make sure I highlighted this story? Because that's a massive problem that Axios is saying that in response to Biden's comments at a campaign event about locking up former President Donald Trump, who is currently running against Vice President Kamala Harris, the woman who replaced Biden at the top of the ticket, for better or worse, no one's listening to him anymore, and his words have little power and less reach. Well, the reason why that's a problem, that nobody's listening to the president, is because you have North Korea deploying troops to Russia right now, setting off alarms. I didn't get to it. John Kirby was on the podium and was questioned by Jackie Heinrich of Fox News. So I'll post a video later today. Franco, when I get home from work, leave me a little bit of an evening slot to post a video about Jackie Heinrich's report, because you have North Korean troops in Russia right now training. And John Kirby is saying, well, we're just threatening them right now. We're just threatening them. And Jackie Heinrich's like, well, why are they there in the first place? South Korean are just on high alert. There's thousands of North Korean soldiers, 3,000 of them in Eastern Russia right now. Guys, this is bad. When you start seeing a mobilization of troops from other countries supporting Russia, what's stopping the Iranians from getting involved? What's stopping the Chinese from backing the Russians as well? This is possibly the makings of a World War III movement right here. And I'm not trying to be an alarmist, but when you have other countries mobilizing, shit could possibly get real here in just one moment. Well, Patriots, thank you so much for always joining me in today's podcast. We go live weekdays, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know it's early, but hopefully you feel like you have a good time here. We got an awesome community of Patriots, everybody over at YouTube, everybody over at Rumble. These people are here every day. These are just Patriots that love hanging out with one another. They know each other's names. They're always here each and every day. I know their names. They're greatly appreciated, as are you. If you're a new viewer, hit that follow button over at Rumble so you're notified when we go live. Check out our book, Trojan Horse, How the Left is Destroying America. You can get yourself a copy on Amazon. It's pretty cheap. People are buying a lot of the Kindle versions, which is nice. But that is there for you, as well as our merchandise. Everything's in the links down below in the description, both at Rumble and YouTube. Patriots, have a blessed day. We'll be back here tomorrow for another episode of The Ball Brad Show. Take care, Patriots. Salute ya.